well, there's no need to keep fainting, Stinky. Oh, yes, up you come. Oh, you're doing it again. Yes, what's that? It was a dreadful smell. Yes, it was a dreadful smell. I think that man in the movie theatre ate something that didn't agree with him, Stinky, because, yes, he seemed to be passing wind an awful lot, didn't he? Yes, what's that? You thought your nostrils were going to blow off your face? Yes, it was quite an awful stench, I have to say. Oh, it's the Poppets. Hello, my little Poppets, mums and dads, and welcome back to story time once again. Well, Stinky and I have just come back from the movies. We had a wonderful time, and Stinky particularly loves going to the movies, I have to say. We had a wonderful time there, and we ate popcorn and chocolate ice cream and M&Ms and lots of candy. So I'm feeling a little bit sick, actually. I think I had too much. But unfortunately, oh, Stinky, stop fainting, dear. What's that? You can't help but smell that smell. Yes, well, I think it's just in your, it's got in your, into your brain, I think, Stinky. What's that? Are we going to tell the Poppets? Yes, I suppose we can tell the Poppets. When we were at the movie theatre, my dear Poppets, mums and dads, there was someone in there, I think it was a man in the front row. He kept, well, how do I say this delicately? He kept passing wind. Yes, I think he must have eaten something that didn't quite agree with him, and oh, it was a dreadful smell, I have to say, and it did make me feel quite ill. But I was just saying to Stinky, sometimes that does happen, but as long as you don't pass wind in front of someone on purpose, because that is quite disgusting and very, very rude. But if you're not feeling well in the tummy, Stinky, sometimes that does happen if it's accidental, and that's all right because it just means that you're not feeling well. But somebody who does that on purpose, no, Mrs. Wiffle Waffle doesn't like that at all. What's that? Would I ever do that? Of course not, dear. I'm a lady. Oh, I'm a lady. I'd never do anything like that. Oh, no. Yes, well, we'd better get on with the story, my dear Poppets. Oh, heavens, no, I'm a lady, Stinky. No, I'd never do anything like that. Anyway, my dear Poppets, the story is called There is a Monster Under My Bed Who Farts. Oh, that's a dreadful word. I'm so sorry, but that's what the book is called, and it's by Tim Miller. Yes, well, this is a very appropriate book, I have to say, after our little experience at the movie theatre. Yes, I want to try and get that out of my mind, though I don't think this book is going to help at all. But anyway, we'll read the book and we'll see what happens. Yes. And here we go, mums and dads and dear Poppets. There is a monster, Stinky, under my bed who... Yes, I have to say that dreadful word again. Who farts? Well, there's a little Poppet there, and there's some sort of ghastly creature under his bed making a dreadful smell. Yes, well, that's terrible, that poor Poppet. How awful. Yes, perhaps he can find some way, my dear Poppets, of getting rid of that creature. Let's hope so. You never want to use the bathroom after him. Well, there's the little Poppet there, and there's that dreadful creature making a terrible stench, following the little Poppet out of the bathroom. Oh dear, I don't know how he's going to get rid of that little man, that funny little creature that's producing that dreadful smell. His belly grumbles so loudly, I can't hear, Stinky, my cartoons. Saturday Superheroes. Well, there's a little Poppet there, and he's complaining because on Saturday morning he likes to watch cartoons like Poppets do, and this terrible, ghastly creature is there beside him making a terrible stench. Oh dear, that is going to make life rather unpleasant. And he's silent and deadly in a small place, Stinky. What's that? It's terrible. Yes, it is. Well, there's Mum and Dad there. Dad looks like he's, I don't know, he's going to pass out. And Mum doesn't look very happy either. And there's the Poppet in the back there holding his breath. I think they need to wind down the windows to let in some fresh air. How dreadful. Yes, they need to get rid of that fellow. He needs to go and live somewhere else, I think. There is a monster in our supermarket who, oh, Stinky, I have to say that dreadful word again. Yes, I do. Who farts, my dear poppets? And there he is there with that terrible little creature who's making another terrible stench as he flies along holding onto the trolley. Oh dear, I don't know what this family is going to do. Perhaps they should buy some air wicks for the house or some air fresheners, I don't know. You don't want to pull his finger, Stinky. What's that? It's dreadfully rude. Yes, it is very rude. Well, there's Mum and Dad there, and the dear little poppet, of course, and that dreadful creature who's following behind the little poppet, and he wants that little boy to pull his finger. No doubt, so he can produce another horrible smell. How awful. Oh, I don't like this fellow at all. He's very rude. He needs Mrs. Waffle to give him a good talking to, I think. His balloons are filled with more than just hot air, Stinky. Happy birthday, Nana. Oh dear, well there's Nana there with a rather glum look on her face, a terrible expression there, looking rather green around the gills, and of course that terrible fellow doing what he does best, producing a terrible smell. Even on Nana's birthday. How awful. Oh, poor Nana. Terrible business. And he loves to blow out the candle, Stinky, even when it's not his birthday. Oh, look what he's doing there. Dreadful beast that he is. And it says, Happy birthday, Nana. And he's poking his bottom at the birthday cake. Oh, he's a wicked beast indeed. Oh, no, I'm not liking this fellow at all. Very, very rude. It wasn't me, says the poppet. Well, there's the poor poppet there, and everyone seems to be blaming this sweet little boy. They think that it's this little poppet there producing that terrible stench, when really it's that little green creature, the monster who lives under his bed, and seems to follow that poor poppet everywhere. There is a monster on the couch. Oh, I have to say it again. Who farts? Oh, I don't like that word. He's trying to compete with Dad, Stinky. Oh, that's revolting. Trying to compete with Dad. And there he is there, sitting on the couch with dear old Dad. Dreadful business. No, they need to find some way of moving that fellow on, I think. Although how they're going to do it, my dear poppets, I just don't know. There is a monster under our bench who farts. Oh dear. Mum thinks there's a gas leak, Stinky. Yes, well, she would think there's a gas leak. Yes, she probably thinks that's the cause of this dreadful smell that seems to be filling the family home. Oh dear, what on earth, my dear poppets, are they going to do? Dreadful. There is a monster, Stinky, in my bath who, oh yes, who farts, who passes wind. Look at him there, with an evil grin on his face. It created such a dreadful aroma, a dreadful smell, that poor little poppet had to leave the bath. He can't even have a wash, because that terrible monster follows him, my poor poppet, wherever he goes. How dreadful. That poor little boy. I wish he'd stop, Stinky. Yes, I bet he does. Mrs. Wiffle wishes he'd stop as well. Yes, perhaps this little creature has eaten something that doesn't agree with him, I just don't know, and it's upset his tummy. Although by the wicked look on his face, I think, mums and dads, he enjoys it. Oh, dreadful beast that he is. Dreadful. Don't make me go to bed. No, help that poor sweet poppet. There is a monster in my bed, Stinky, who farts. Oh, it's dreadful. Yes, it's a dreadful business. And there's the poor poppet there, being dragged by the ankle because it's bedtime, but he doesn't want to go to bed because of that terrible creature. Oh dear. What on earth is he going to do? I just don't know. Why don't they believe me? And there's the poor poppet there, sitting up in bed with that dreadful beast, that wicked fellow there, producing that terrible smell. Not fair at all. And of course, that is the end. And that was called There is a Monster Under My Bed Who Farts. A very, very interesting and quite funny book, I have to say. Although I did feel very sorry, Stinky, for that poor little poppet. Yes, what's that? What's he going to do? Yes, well, I don't know what he's going to do. Perhaps his mum and dad should get a big net, and perhaps if they caught that monster in the net, they could perhaps release him somewhere else. Yes, I just don't know. Well, my dear, dear poppets, mums and dads, I hope you enjoyed that very smelly but funny book, The Monster Under My Bed Who Farts. A very, very fitting one for today, I have to say. What's that? Am I sure I never pass wind? Yes, I told you, Stinky. I'm a lady. That's not the sort of thing that a lady does. Anyway, I want to get off that topic. I've had enough of that nonsense. Yes, I don't want to think any more about it. Anyway, as I was saying, mums and dads, thank you for tuning in for story time once again. Perhaps you could read a book about a monster under the bed, or perhaps you could go to the movies and eat lots of popcorn. And as always, my dear ones, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!